Previously on Natural Dreams Revelation. Mate, I'm not the bad dude, I'm not your mate. I want you gone now. So he cheated on her while now you get to where my husband is coming from. I have to admit, that was clever. I'm just beginning. Now, to pick up where I left off months ago. Applegate apartment in Ethan's apartment in the living room. Jan sitting on the couch typing inventory on her iPad. Just as Ethan came in and Jan turned and saw him. I thought about what you said and you're right, which is why I have an idea. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles International Hospital in the waiting room, Aaron, Sharon, Tyler, Carly, Olivia, Carl, Lucy, Tristan, Tanya, and her friend are talking. So Tanya, who's your new friend here? Who? Oh, him. His name is Tanya. Let me be the one to answer. The name is Dallas Wolfden, her boyfriend. Meanwhile, in Taya's room, Taya's lying in bed holding her daughter, while Brody's holding the other, while they're bonding with their new daughters, who are sleeping peacefully. And as Taya looked at Brody, who saw, what? Don't you reckon it's time we give them a name? Meanwhile, in the hallway, Donald's walking down it, with Jeremy not too far behind. Oi! And as Donald stopped and turned and saw Jeremy, just as he arrived to where he is. You want to take a swing? Go for it. That way, you'll be sent down for assault. Meanwhile, at the Applegate apartment in Ethan's apartment in the living room, Jan and Ethan are talking. And what would that be? And as Ethan came and sat on the couch by Jan, and as she turned her iPad off. Surely, you must know about my family more than you're letting on. Perhaps I do. Okay. You said my family had money, yeah? Dude, your family is rich beyond anything because of my parents. Yeah. You know what? I just need to press forward because my dad would want me to. From what Ashley said, your dad laughed at the idea of fear. And basically, a part of him is inside the drillings of you. Thanks. Look, I want to take you out on a date. That's if you have me. Yeah, that would be amazing. Question. Did we get back together back then, prior to what happened to me? Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles International Hospital in the waiting room, Aaron, Sharon, Tyler, Carly, Olivia, Carl, Lucy, Tristan, Tanya, and Dallas are talking. Well, Dallas, I'm quite certain your parents are probably wondering to where you are. They know where I am, and they're cool with me being here. Well, let's call them anyways. Walk with me. And as Tristan led Dallas away, while Tanya is facing the others who saw. Dude, what the hell? I didn't realize you were also my mom. Oi! Don't talk to her like that. You know he should be home. This is a family matter. And as Aaron went to where Carly is, and arrived as she saw me. How are you? Really? Fine. And no, I don't know where Bobby is. And frankly, I don't give a damn. Look, if there's anything you want me to do, I know where to find you. And as Carly went and walked away, just as the janitor who happened to be across everybody came out and began walking down the hall, walking past a patient room, which Nellie happened to come out and saw. Howard? And as the janitor stopped, who's revealed to be Howard, and turned and faced her. What the hell you playing at? And as Howard dragged her back into the empty patient room and closed the door. Meanwhile, in Taya's room, Taya's lying in bed just as Brody came back to where she is. Rachel said the twins are faring good. We have such two amazing daughters. Yeah, despite what we've been through, I'm glad having you back. Even though I know I'm not going anywhere this time. Speaking of which, you said you want us to name them, yeah? How do you reckon Summer, since I wasn't here and all, when, okay, as long as we name the other one Leela. I'm game. So, Summer Good Charm Carter. Leela Ryder Carter. Okay. Oh my god. What is it? I have to find a godmom for the twins. What about Rachel? Oh, I see now. I had a feeling you would ask your best mate to be its goddad. So, Summer will be Rachel's goddaughter, while Leela will be Karen's goddaughter. I like the way you and I compromise. And as they begin kissing each other, just as Taya unveiled the covers, and as Brody got in and laid beside her, and as he hugged her while he holding her while they continued kissing. Meanwhile, in the hallway, Donald and Jeremy are talking. Believe me, mate, if I wanted to knock you out, I would have done that. Besides, you would like that in the end, now would you? That way, you can fully move in on my wife. I've already made my case clear to you. I am gonna be in that baby's life. The least you can do is man up and tell my mom about your little affair, or what? I'm not afraid of your blackmail. Besides, you're banned from seeing her. Not quite. You see, I think my mom will make one exception. Now, rather than wasting all us time, go home and pack and get out. We want you gone when we come back to the house. And as Jeremy turned and walked away, just as Grace came to where Donald is. I'll talk to him. Please do. Because I'm not going anywhere. He's got it locked in his head that I'm after you. Now don't finish that sentence. And what if he isn't wrong with the matter? Are you after me and using my baby to do so? Meanwhile, in the dining area, Wilma sits at the table looking at her baby photo on her iPhone. Just as Mary came to the table where Wilma is and sat down. Word has it that you've given birth, and as Wilma saw, and she turned her phone and put it on the table. Yeah, I did. I also had Eddie holding it and validated it to our brother Kevin, and Kevin and I were just worried about you. When our other sister is still missing for the matter, Mom and Dad are busy at our grandparents' house for the will reading. Mary, I'm doing fine. Meanwhile, at the Grand Rich Matter in the living room, Ashley, Angela, Damon, Isabella, Dean, Allison, Jared, Hannah, Ryan, Carol, Steve, Joanna, Chris, Julie, Dorothy, Roxanne, Jack, and Rita are all surprised by Samuel's arrival. And as Ashley in turn paused the video and got up and went to where he is, I cannot believe it, and arrived, and as they hug each other. While that's happening, everyone else begins talking. Let's get to Angela and Damon. Wait, wasn't he dead due to... I learned a long time ago that everything isn't what it seems. Well, Angela, that is one way of saying it. Meanwhile, Isabella head to where her mom and Samuel is, who's still in the hug. And as they pull away just as she arrived, and as they turn and face everyone who saw Ashley and Samuel. Look, I know I'm not blood related to you lot. Nonsense! And as Ashley turns Samuel over and as they face each other, paper doesn't mean a thing. Far as I'm concerned, you are a part of this family. Thank you. So, and as Samuel and Ashley turn and face everyone, what's going on? Well, we were in the middle of the whirlwind of that totally explains why most of the family is here. Well, most of the family, but clearly not all of them. Meanwhile, outside the Preston Bridge Manor, Paul's approaching the front door. But suddenly, before he gets there, he's surrounded by 4 men, with David coming in front of them, which Paul saw. If you think you can intimidate me this, then I've already won this game before it's even begun. Really? And as Dave's men took out their rifles, and all of them aiming at Paul. You really think that scares me? Of course you do. Seems we have you surrounded. Wrong. And as Paul's backup guards came, and also took out their rifles and surrounded David and pointed at him and his men. Yeah. Have you forgotten what family I reside in? Of course I haven't. You Collins always know how to destroy everything you touch. Here's the deal. My wife and I are done working for you. Is that so? You'll be done working when we say you're done. Till then, call off your guard dogs and let you want each of them carted off in the body bag. Your choice. In fact, and as Paul took out a gun, why don't I help you with that? And as Paul shot one of David's guards, who in turn collapsed to the floor, which David saw. And as David looked at Paul, who saw, call them off or they all die. Meanwhile, outside the Preston Bridge Manor, Paul and David are talking, with Paul's guards aiming their guns at David, while David's guards doing the same to Paul. And as David got down and checked on the guards to see if he was okay, and as David looked at Paul, who saw, I can't believe you did that. You got 5 seconds to call off your guard or another one goes down. And as Paul aimed his gun at the second one. Fine. And as David got up, stand down everyone. And as the guards lowered their guns and turned and walked away. And as Paul in turn lowered his gun and put it up, just as Paul's guards also lowered their guns. You know, you got a lot of nerve after everything you've done. You mean by sleeping with your wife? Mate, you are a day late and $1 short. Oh, I get it now. Seems somebody's being cocky now that he thinks that he's in the big leagues and all. Burn this in your brain, dude. My wife is out of bounds, mate. I don't want your wife. We were over before you even knew we were together. Obviously, she must have kept it from you. Tell it a lot, don't you think? And as David headed to Paul, but Paul took out his gun and aimed at him just as he arrived. I wouldn't do anything foolish if I were you, David. You know what? I'll wonder how Stephanie feels if she already knows. Besides, we didn't even date at the time. Now that that's cleared all, why don't you burn this in your little brain? If you ever try that little maneuver again, it will be game over for real for you. Got that? Good. Hey, Michelle. And as David realized that his wife is standing behind him, which Paul saw, and as Paul lowered his gun and put it up, if you excuse me, I have things to do. And as Paul and the guards went and walked away, while David turned and saw his wife there, who clearly isn't happy at all. How did you know where you just couldn't help yourself, could you? Meanwhile, at the Applegate apartment and Ethan's apartment in the living room, Jan and Ethan are talking. Actually, you had eyes for my sister Grace. Grace? Yeah. Only now she's married to a dude named Jeremy Bradshaw. Oh. Okay. At least I have you. You do. And as Jan's iPhone rings, and she got it, and saw it's her husband Sheldon and declined it. Everything alright? Yeah. So, where are you planning to take me? You're just gonna have to find out. And as they both got up and head to the door, and arrived with Ethan getting in front of her as they face each other. Wait, what is it? You don't have any money. Well, you do, but the world already considered you dead, which means you do have a point. So how exactly are you gonna wine and dine me if you skint? You leave that to me. And as Ethan turned and opened the door, and as he stepped aside for Jan to walk out, followed by him, who in turn closed the door. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles International Hospital in the empty patient room, Natalie and Howard are talking. Really? You actually sink this low? Spying on your family? Yeah, that's right. My family. Till some kid came along and took him away from me. You mean Brody? He's not a kid anymore. Yeah? Well, he is to me. Taya and I shared. You know, you only had Tristan, Sharon, Damien, and Olivia. And that Tanya is, yes, I get the point. You put your whole career at risk. And let's just fast forward to why you spying on them. Well, I have a hunch that something happened. Or, dude, she's given birth and made it quite clear she doesn't want you around. Why are you here anyways, if you didn't come to nag me about? And as Cameron came in with the food, and Natalie and Howard saw, honey, I got the food. And as Howard saw him and looked at Natalie, really? Meanwhile, in the waiting room, while Aaron, Sharon, Tyler, Lucy, and Tanya are talking, Olivia and Carl step away from the others to the other side near the wall, and as they face each other. What? You're still thinking of ways to get in Patrick? Yeah, and that's where you come in. What do you want me to do? I want you to seduce a woman named Sheridan Hamilton. You mean Patrick's new girlfriend, the one he's seeing right now? Yeah. Apparently, you and I are gonna have to get creative to make certain we get what we want in the end. Leave that to me. I can arrange for you and Patrick to be alone while I keep Sheridan occupied. I do love how our minds work. And as they begin kissing each other. Meanwhile, in Taya's room, Taya and Brody are lying in bed under the covers, and as Brody holds her in his arms. Summer and Leela, one of a kind, especially since they're gonna be a part of Terrence, although she doesn't know about it. Look, and as she looked at him who saw, I know she isn't far your biggest fan at the moment, no. But I do understand why she did what she did as a thanks for you helping her out and all. Clearly, she doesn't know about us being together. Also, not to mention the threat that we endured Rich got sorted in the end, yeah? So let's not try to worry about that. Honestly, I really don't know what I'd do without you in life. And you're not gonna find that out either. You want them to see the girls? My other family? Sure, I'll get them. And as they pull away, just as Brody got up and went and left Taya's room. Meanwhile, in the dining area, Wilma and Mary are talking. You have been through the ringer with Julian, lying by hiring 2 people to pose. Speaking of which, our marriage is over. Wait, what? You heard me. In fact, he served me divorce paper as a present. That sneaky bastard. You know what? I'm gonna have a word with him. So, all I wanna do right now is concentrate on my son who needs me. And yes, I will name him as soon I know what to do here. You need to figure out which guy you want and go on from there. Easy said than done. My husband found out about my affairs with several blokes over the last few months. Oh, I see. Look, I'm pretty certain I know what you're thinking right now, Wilma. I am the last person to be judged. And as Jeremy came to their table, and a wife just as Mary saw, when it said, and as Wilma turned and also saw Jeremy there. Meanwhile, at the Grandwich Manor in the living room, Ashley, Angela, Damon, Isabella, Dean, Allison, Jared, Hannah, Ryan, Carol, Steve, Joanna, Chris, Julie, Dorothy, Roxanne, Jack, Rita, and Samuel are all watching John Graham on the flat screen TV as John Graham's will reading continues. My precious angel, you had more endurance than the rest of that lot. Well, she was the favorite girl among the family. That I can see why. Oh wait! You lot had your time. I believe our dad is speaking to me, which means this is my time. And as the video continues, anyways, I'm gonna be leaving you in charge of one of my fabulous homes in England. My frontman Dean will give you more details to where it is. Also, you will be CEO of Grand Fashion Industries. You'll also have your own personal commercial plane and a huge trust fund for any of your future kids. Dean will also include the details, and as Dean came and gave Isabella a brown envelope which she got. By the way, he's also enclosed another DVD in there for your view first only before anybody else, because he has something else that he's left you. And what would that be? Angela, haven't you learned by now that the bond between father and daughter is so strong that none of us can penetrate it? Yeah, I kind of figured that. Well, that includes the will reading. And as Dean came and stand in front of the TV while the videos continue. And although I may not be here to witness you lot's reaction all, just know that I will be seeing you lot very soon. But not too soon though. And as the video turned off, just as Dean went and got the remote from Ashley and turned the TV off and went towards it and turned and faced everyone who saw. Just so you lot know, everything that was said on that feed is final. One more thing. When the lot of you leave, I will be giving DVDs to some of you to see what John has left for your grandchildren and all. And as this lawyer, this will reading is now concluded. And as Isabella got up and head to the portrait of where her parents is, and arrived, and as she looked at it, and as she turned and saw her family conversing with one another, and as she turned back and faced the portrait of her mother and dad. Thank you, Dad, for everything you have done. And as the episode ends with the portrait of Ashley and John. And the next Natural Dreams revelation, what are you thinking about? I'm really starting to have second thoughts about bringing Arthur and James. Never have I ever expected Wilma would do what she did in a million years. Well, that goes to show you really don't know the person as well as you think. Your little move almost destroyed this family. What do you mean almost destroyed our family? Is there something going on here? And as Joe and David turn and saw Damon at the door.